Quilters, today's show is the introduction for the 2023 AQS and AccuQuilt-Along series.
Stay tuned to see how we're getting started, as well as tips and tricks to help you begin.
Hi, Quilters. I'm Pam Hiller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert. And actually, it looks like I'm good at making Pam laugh before we start.
We're just having a good time here. All right, Quilters, welcome to today's Quilt-Along. We are partnering with our good friends at AQS, the American Quilters Society, for 5 different projects in 2023.
That's
it's going to be a great year. We're going to start with the first Quilt-Along, which is the Stars in the Crown Throw Quilt that is hanging behind us. Today, we're going to kick off this Quilt-Along series by giving the basics of everything you need to know to create this project.
That's right. Now, in this introduction, we'll be going over where to find the free downloadable pattern, all the supplies you're going to need to make your quilt, fabric requirements, some personalizing, and some colorway ideas.
But the first thing to talk about is, what is a Quilt-Along?
Right.
Now, if you've never done one before, welcome. A Quilt-Along is when a group of quilters all work together on the same project at the same time. This could be done by a group of friends, it could be your quilt guild, or really any group.
And for this one, it's us.
Yes.
And we can't wait to get started. So it is exciting to think about us all being able to make a project together from wherever we are. We're going to be using AQS's Facebook group that's called AQS Project Parade Group to keep in touch with each other and see everyone's progress.
Now, Erica and I have already joined this group, and it is a great way to get inspired by your fellow quilters and to get any questions that you need to have answered. Erica and I, we're going to check those questions on a regular basis.
That's right.
So if you have a question you don't really know, put it in the comment section. You can tag Erica or I, and we'll answer them.
That's right. We're looking forward to getting to know you all through this group, and it's also a wonderful way to learn more about both AccuQuilt and AQS.
Now, for making the Go Stars in the Crown Throw Quilt, Eric and I will be using our Go Big electric fabric cutter.
Because we can.
Because we can. We're also going to use the Go Cube Mix and Match 8-inch block and the Go setting triangles that are 8-inch finished, and our 2.5-inch strip die, which is the perfect die you need for binding.
Now, if you don't own a Go cutter yet, traditional rotary cutting directions will be available in the blog post by our friends at AQS. But this is a really great time to jump in and get a cutter for yourself too. The rotary cutting directions will make the same size final project that Pam and I are going to be making with our 8-inch finished cube.
All right, so quilters, AccuQuilt is, at its heart, a fabric die cutting system for quilters, making it possible for you to cut your projects 90% faster than rotary cutting with 100% accuracy. Just last night, you and I were working on a quilt and cutting our pieces so fast and so accurate.
Yes.
Our cutters and dies are safe and easy to use for anyone, and we have 3 different models to choose from.
That's right. We've got our Go Me, that's our smallest and lightest weight cutter. Then we've got our Go Fabric cutter. And of course, as we mentioned, our Go Big electric fabric cutter. Now, no matter which one you choose, the system really works the same. The die, and we've got one over here.
We have one right here.
It has really extremely sharp blades in it. They're surrounded by our patented 2-tone foam, which means you can rub your hand over the surface and no Pams were hurt in the making of this video.
There were none. There were none. And look, right here you can feel those blades.
Yes.
Right? Now, those blades never need sharpening.
That's right.
What's going to need to be replaced is your cutting mat, and we'll talk about that. Now, you can cut up to 6 layers of 100% quilting cotton, and what you want to do is you want to have the die foam side up. Here's the back, foam side up, and then you can put up to 6 layers of fabric. So we're going to just lay, I have 2 layers at a time, so 6 layers. Then you're going to put on your mat. and we're going to run it through the cutter and show you how easy it cuts. That is how simple and how fast it is to use our system.
That's
So
right.
we're going to give you a tip, give it a little love. Slide that mat, don't lift. And now look, Erica, I have cut perfect half square triangles.
Yes.
We've cut off the dog ears, and from this point here to this point here is a perfect 1/4 inch seam.
Now the only other thing that you're going to need, that we're going to need, is the Go 8-inch finished setting triangles die.
Right.
So
Make sure that
make sure you've
getting
got
that.
those.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not familiar with the Go Mix and Match system, it's an 8-inch or whatever inch. It is a box set with 8 dies that will all work together. They're going to make over 72 different quilt blocks. Now, our cube is based on a 4-patch system or a 2x2 grid layout. So here's our cube. The shapes in every mix and match cube are the same. They are just different sizes because we actually have 7 different sizes of cubes. We've got 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12-inch finished block sizes.
Right, and we say it like that because all of our geometric shapes have that 1/4 inch seam allowance built in.
Exactly.
All right, now we're going to open up our cube and show you what's inside the 8-inch cube. Remember, the shapes are the same in every cube. They're just different sizes.
That's right.
And Erica talked about how our cube system is a 4-patch. You want to hold that up while
So here's our 4-patch. Okay, and this is the one that we made with the 8-inch cube. So we've got 4 squares that are cut at 4.5 inches. They're going to finish when we sew them all together to 8 inches.
Right. All right, so we're going to open up our cube and show you what's inside. We're going to pull the skinny one first so we don't break a nail, but why else, Erica? What's inside?
Well, this is important because it has a little pattern booklet, but most importantly, it has a mat.
Right, so all of our cubes come with the appropriate size mat.
That's right.
All right, so we'll pull these out. So first of all, shape number 1, as Erica said, is a square. And the
Just like this.
Yep. And 4 of these sewn together in this cage makes an 8-inch finished block.
That's right.
Now, all the other shapes combined together equal shape 1.
Right.
So the smaller, so there's big squares and little squares.
So here's our little squares, and
Yep.
4 of those together is going to be the same as one of shape number 1.
Right, shape number 2 in every cube are squares. Shape number 3 here, we'll let you go through
Yes,
those.
so number 3 then is going to be our large half square triangle. 2 of those sewn together is going to be the same as our square number 1.
Yes.
Now the next one comes up, and this is shape number 4. This is one that we'll be using in the project.
Yes.
This is our
2 and 4.
This is our 1/4 square triangle. You
It is?
threw me off.
I did, I know. You had a
did.
groove going.
I
and
was
stopped
going.
it.
I was going. She
Yes.
does this. You
Yes.
have to keep an eye on this one. So 4 of these sewn together is going to be the same as shape number 1. So the next one that comes up, this is kind of a combination of the next 2 shapes. Shape number 5 is what we cut earlier. It's the small half square triangle. Oh gosh, my fingernail polish matches this beautifully.
Look at how fun that is.
And here we have our square on point, which is shape number 6.
Right.
And this square is just a square. Quilters ask all the time what's different. It is designed to live on its tippy toe with the small half square triangles surrounding it and making a unit that is equal to shape number 1.
This also is a block in the Stars and the Crown.
That's right. And now here's our parallelogram.
Oh, listen, nobody should ever cut parallelograms by themselves.
The wonderful thing is that we know that shape number 5, those small half square triangles, are going to fit on either side of it.
They are.
And one parallelogram unit is going to be equal to one of our rectangles, which conveniently is our last shape in the cube.
There you go. All right, so you'll notice, we're going to look here at the die. You're going to notice a little bit about this die. Erica, do you want to talk about it?
So we've got the shape on an angle on the die, and that's on purpose. You want to line up your lengthwise grain or your selvage edge.
So here's my selvage edge. Listen,
That's
nice
the
and
tight part. Yep. To the lengthwise blade as it goes through the cutter. So think about it as driving over a speed bump, one tire at a time with your car. You're going to have a lot smoother ride. We love our fabric. Pam is so in love with this fabric.
So much.
We want to give it the best ride possible and get our best possible cut.
Yep, we do. All right, so when we cut our half square triangles previously, let's cut some
Yes.
more. I'm going to move this out. Listen, I can't get my water here. It's all, I have so much stuff right here in my little space.
He's not used to having me here on Wednesdays.
It just throws me off every time.
We're off.
Okay, so we measured our shape from here to here. We added a quarter of an inch on either side, and we just rough cut width of fabric.
Yes.
Okay, typically, Erica, I cut off my salvage edges. I should cut this one off and save it for you.
That's very
'cause
cute.
It's really cute.
I save salvage edges.
She does.
You know, you can do things with them.
So at AccuQuilt, we call this fan folding, where we're going to go back and forth, just barely covering that shape. Because we don't want to waste that fabric.
Because we love our fabric.
We do love our fabric. All right, so now are you worried about this tail, Erica?
Absolutely not.
How come?
Because it is going to just slide on through.
Right. The only blades are on the die. They're not in the cutter.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to use our Go Big during the series. And actually, you could run 2 dies through in one pass.
You actually could.
Yes.
And that tail, the one thing you don't, well, the 2 things you don't want to do. One is you don't want it on top of your die.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That's going to give you too many layers. But you also don't want it underneath your die. Because again, too many layers. And it could cause an issue with your machine.
There we go. And now
there we go.
Perfect
We've got
half
more.
square triangles. And then we're going to keep this because then we're going to do the
We're
next
going to
set.
do the next set, and we've got more things to cut.
Yeah. Now, if you're interested in learning more about our cubes, Erica and I have made a plethora of video tutorials available on our website, Facebook page, and YouTube channel.
The word of the day is plethora.
Plethora.
Now,
Means
again-
more than 3.
We are partnering with our friends at AQS, and we know that not all of you may own a Go Cutter. Remember that the rotary cutting directions are going to be found in both our blog post and their blog post today.
Right.
This will give you a chance to compare the two and also to help you learn more about translating your patterns for traditional patterns into die cutting.
Now, those 7 different sizes of cubes means that you can make the same project with any of our Go Mix and Match cubes, but the different sized finished results are going to have different finished results and fabric requirements.
That's
Shall we
right.
show 'em?
Yeah, let's show them.
Okay. So this is an itty bitty one. I love this.
It's so cute.
This is made with our 4-inch cube.
This is why I love the 4-inch cube.
Yep, right there, yep. And I love this because this is the 4-inch cube. You can make it with a 6-inch cube. And I think that if you're looking to really start out, so the 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9-inch cubes will all fit through your little Go Me. But the 4, 5, and 6 setting triangles, which is what you need to finish the project, will also fit.
Yes.
So look, I have a little
Great
4-inch setting
point.
triangle. So these are all going to fit through your Go Me.
Yes.
So if you have a Go Me and you're thinking, oh, what size should I do? 4, 5, and 6.
6. That's
Okay.
right.
All right.
Now the pattern that we've got, and here we've both, Pam and I both work with our printed patterns at hand. This pattern will also include the item numbers for the dies and the mats that are used for your size pattern.
Right.
That way you can take it with you to your local AccuQuilt retailer or your shelves or AccuQuilt.com to pull out the dies, get what you need, and be ready to go.
Now, Eric and I will both be using the 8-inch cube and the setting triangles for our project. If you don't own a cutter, your very best value will be to get our Ready, Set, Go Ultimate Fabric Cutting System. This bundle includes everything, almost everything you'll need for this project, yes. Just add fabric and setting triangles.
That's right.
So it's going to come with, this is our Go Fabric Cutter.
Yep.
It's going to come with our 8-inch mix and match cube that we just showed you. Those 8 dies. We give you 72 mix and match patterns, but really the pattern is endless possibilities.
Endless.
Right. The 2.5-inch strip die, which I could not live without.
Right, and we'll be using that to cut our binding.
Right. And a 10 by 24 cutting mat to use with that strip die. Remember, all of our cubes already come with the appropriate size mat.
Yes.
It also comes with a booklet, a manual, and a die pick to help you clean your dies.
That's right. Now, whether you already own a Ready, Set, Go, or if you're just now purchasing one, the only other die you would need to complete this 8-inch version is the Go Setting Triangles 8-inch finished die. Now that's going to work with that 10 by 24 mat that also works with your strip cutter and comes in with the Ready, Set, Go.
So when you're shopping on the website, if you already order that, just order the setting triangles.
Right. It's also a great time to check your mats like we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Replace any that you need.
Right.
But here's another thing you might want to get. You might want to get our new Comfort Grip handle. If you already have a Go cutter and you have not upgraded your handle, you can buy our new Comfort Grip handle and change it out yourself. It's super easy to do, and we've got videos to show you how on the website.
I was going to say, I think it took us like 3 minutes to change out our handle.
It's a little bit longer, so you actually have more space between your hand and the cutter, but it also is chunkier.
Chunky monkey.
And it's easier, it's going to cause less hand strain.
It's going to be great.
So here's the comparison kind of between the two.
All right. Now, you want to talk what's the first, besides getting our pattern?
Yes, so the first thing you'll probably want to do is to download that free pattern.
Yes.
So here's what you need to do. You need to log into your account at AccuQuilt.com. If you don't already have an account, just set one up. It's easy, it's free. In the search box up at the top left-hand corner, type in the name of the pattern. It's Stars in the Crown. And you can see,
Look, that's me.
yeah, it's going to pull up all those options and the pictures and select the size you want. You'll see that green button that said to download and then a pop-up that says to download again, download now. And we suggest that you just go ahead, download it right away, save it right away to your computer. And if it's me, I'm going to print a copy because I like to have it with me when I go to the fabric store.
Because I've written on it and it has sticky notes. So
Yes,
for
I have
sure
too.
You want to
can
do
see
this. Okay.
You've been writing.
Now, as you read through the pattern, you'll see a list of the dies and mats that you'll need, fabric requirements, directions for preparing your fabric for the die, that sub-cutting we talked about.
Right.
Die cutting and sewing this great quilt together. But remember that Eric and I, we're going to be taking you through all of these steps together.
That's right. You can see I've written my fabrics down, and here's the dies.
See, I did too.
Yep. We don't want to get confused.
No. Jeez.
Now, whether this is one of your very first quilts or if you're a seasoned pro, the key here is just relax, sit back, and enjoy going through the process together. This is your project, and we want you to enjoy the process as well as your finished project.
Yeah, it's going to be super casual, super fun.
Yep.
The set's going to change. We're going to have our sewing machines here. I think there will be snacks.
There must be
snacks and no shoes. Yes. All right. So with that in mind, let's move on about talking about how to really make this project your own, and that begins with fabric selection.
Yep.
Now, even for experts, picking out fabric can be a little bit scary, but actually it's one of our favorite parts of the process. For starters, think about where and how you may use the finished quilt and the finished size that you want to create. For example, do you want a lap quilt or do you want a wall hanging? We've talked about some of the alternative sizes.
Yeah, we've got another size over there. So hand me the 4. I'll hang on to the 4. This is the 4. We've got the 8-inch behind us. And is that?
I think it's the 12. Yes.
So here's the 12.
So huge shout out to Marjorie Busby for making all these.
Yes.
Look at how fun this is. So I think I like the bigger.
Here, I'm going to hold this up right here.
There.
There we go.
There. I feel like, okay, here's what I think. If you have the 12-inch pattern and you have enough scraps, I bet you could make a 4-inch
I bet you could.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So do you want a lap quilt? Do you want a wall hanging? Do you want to keep it? Yes. Maybe you want to gift it to someone. Sure. What room will it be in? So those are really good questions to ask because all of those patterns are available on the website.
That's right. With those ideas in mind, our favorite way to try out some different color schemes is using our free design tool on AccuQuilt.com called Go Quilt. Now you'll find it in the upper right-hand corner of AccuQuilt's homepage.
Here's a quick video to show you how easy it is to use.
have to tell you, Go Quilt is very easy to use, and it is so much fun to use. Now be sure to check it out. Even if you're going to be following the rotary cutting directions, you can still jump in and use Go Quilt to help you plan your colors, right?
Yeah, it's a free tool. You just put in your email address, you'll be great. All right, and you truly are going to love it. And I want you to know that it is a tool that Erica and I use all the time.
Yes.
All the time, because it allows you to take pictures of your stash and upload those.
Yes.
There's different colors, there's a color library. It's just great. Now, I always like to take my patterns with me to the fabric store.
Yes.
So I have a picture of the quilt as well as the fabric requirements right there. You can also print out your different colorway from Go Quilt and take it when you're ready to go shopping.
That's right. Now, the first place you might want to shop is your own fabric stash.
Yes.
Is it possible, quilters, that you've got some fabric anxiously waiting to be used? Even if it's just one or two fabrics, even if it's just one focus fabric, be sure to take it along with you on your shopping trip, because the worst thing is getting there and not knowing if something is going to match or if you're going to like it. Just keep it with you.
So Eric and I went to our local AccuQuilt retailer, the Celtic Quilter, for our fabrics.
Yes.
Now, we both had color palettes in mind, and I was very clear on the color palette that I wanted.
Was.
Now, Erica, she totally stuck to her color palette, and I completely changed my mind. But actually, that's part of the fun. So I like to look for a focus fabric, one that I really love, and then I work my quilt around that fabric.
Yes.
Okay, so here is I'm so excited about this. Here's the focus fabric I chose. I gotta tell you a funny story. This is not my color palette. This is called, what's it called? It's Free Spirit fabric.
By Tula Pink,
By
and
Tula
it's
Pink.
called Painted Ladies.
Painted Ladies, look at those cute little ladybugs. So I actually had this fabric as my focus fabric and some others sitting out on my cutting table, and my husband came in and he said, "Whose fabric is that?" And I said, "That is my fabric." And he goes, "That is not your color palette." And I was like, I know, I'm really excited about it. So I don't usually get variegated colors. It's just not my jam. But I fell in love with this, and then look at these two other fabrics that I got to go with it.
Yes.
Because I'm all about a pin dot. Here we go. And then this is white on white. I very seldom, this has stars.
Yes.
I very seldom buy just white fabric. I usually try to get it with a white pattern on it. It's hard to see, but it has little stars. And this, I just am in love with the whole thing. And here's one of my sample blocks. Wait till you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is my first sample block. This is the star block, and we'll turn it on point, right, in the process.
Right.
And then look, here is my accent block.
She's like moving ahead. She could hardly contain herself.
I was so excited. I called Eric about 6 times when I was making them. I'm like, I just love my ladybug fabric. Okay, so this really is going to be so much fun for me. Again, it's not my usual colorway.
Oh, wait, can I borrow your ladybug fabric for a
can.
minute? Okay, I want to just show everybody a tip. Now this fabric, it's really easy to look at this fabric and pull out colors for accent colors and see if it works. But if that's not something that you're comfortable with, take a look at the selvage edge of your fabric. You can see how she's got little acorns, which are those not adorable?
I'm, by the way, cutting the selvage for you.
Oh, thank you, because I love this. These are your color registration dots, and they've gotten really creative with them. Sometimes they're just circles, but here it's going to show you all the colors that are used in this fabric. So it just pulls them out, and it makes it a little bit easier for you to match up your colors if you're having any problems or concerns.
So I used the yellow and the pink, and then look, this blue matches perfectly.
It is.
With the yellow.
I think it's from the same fabric line, which
I know, don't tell.
Which is another thing that
actually,
helps.
that is actually
That is
really
actually
good
a
tip.
really good tip. So I had blue and yellow in mind, so I stayed.
Erica is quite the blue phase. As
I am going through my blue phase. So but I saw this yellow and white.
Look at this
plaid.
gingham is so pretty.
This little gingham
Do you call it
plaid-y.
gingham or plaid?
This
I
one's
think
a
it's
plaid. This is a plaid. It's slightly different than a gingham.
Yes.
But I love the yellow plaid. So,
do.
and then I've got some blue dots. Let's see. So this is, let's see whose this is. Flower Garden by Echo Park. It's Riley Blake. And this is
Our good friends at Riley Blake gave away, we had great fabric from
this is another Riley Blake from the Flower Garden. It's a really pretty dot.
I love this slate gray color.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of in love with it.
And then we've got two colors of, I know,
my heart.
contain yourself, Pam, Moda Grunge.
Moto grunge, my favorite. So people ask all the time, what is grunge? Grunge is actually fabric that is painted.
Right.
And so they color the basic color and then they paint. And so look at this. And I want you to know, Erica, I have so much of this in my stash. But this is
love this
so
blue
pretty
so much.
together. I mean, the four together are beautiful.
So something like this is a great, what we call a blender. It's going to have multiple tones in it, but it's going to kind of read as a solid for you. So if you don't want to just go with a plain solid,
Right.
these are a great
So which one is your
options.
background color?
Well, let's take a look at the block and I'll tell
Hey,
you.
there we go.
Look, it's the light blue.
Yeah, look at how fun this is.
So I kind of changed up where my colors were going to live once I looked at it. So.
I just think it's beautiful.
So we're super excited. I have not done my quarter square triangle units. I'm waiting to sew those with all of you.
Yes. I'm going to miss one of our shows. I'll be at AQS Daytona
so ahead.
teaching a class, so I had to be a little bit ahead. Now, quilters, if you're stumped on where to start, think about holidays or seasons. Maybe you want to do like Erica and choose spring or Easter. Maybe one in red, white, and blue or Halloween fabrics. Get a jump on next year's Valentine's Day or next Christmas.
Right.
It
is a great time to pick up Christmas fabric and make those projects for next
as
Christmas.
well as Valentine's fabric,
Yeah.
as well as on sale right now.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself at a loss, don't hesitate to ask for help. I know that both of us used suggestions that the staff made as we shopped in the store, right?
That's right.
Because I truly had a whole bunch of different bolts, and then
Right.
I put them all back.
It's a process. It's a
It is.
process. And just relax and enjoy
Go
that
with a friend.
process. Yeah. And the staff at the store, you make a great point. The staff at the store, they know what they've got in the
Right.
store. So if you are searching for the the right yellow or the right whatever, ask them. They know what they've got. They can probably go pick it right off the shelf. You may have walked by it 5 times already.
Right.
So save yourself those extra steps and let the staff help you a little bit. And you know what? They're not going to have their feelings hurt if you don't like their suggestions either.
No.
So I always ask for help.
They always let us come back.
They do.
Okay. All right, now if you don't find something you love, please don't settle. Keep looking until you find the right thing, the thing that makes your heart happy. If you don't love the fabric when you start, it's going to be hard to make yourself, one, work on it, let alone finish it, which is why so many of us have UFOs.
That's right.
Right?
That is a great point. That is how stash and UFOs, because you may get it and then end up just not even cutting it.
Right.
And finding something else.
Yes.
So
Find
just
what you
wait till
love.
you find what you love.
Feel free to get my colors.
There you go.
I love them.
Or mine.
There.
So quilters, here's the schedule for how our Quilt-Along series is going to work with AQS. This is how we're going to get things kicked off today with this kind of introduction show. And we're going to give you 2 weeks to get everything organized and ready for that first session.
Right, so in 2 weeks, you want to make sure you have your fabric chosen, your fabric purchased, and downloaded your pattern.
Right.
Okay, so that means on February 8th, I'll be back here, which is next Wednesday, showing off our latest die to try. Oh my gosh, wait till you see it. Which is a limited edition die that is only available for the month that it launches or while supplies last. Sometimes the Die to Try series dies come back due to their overwhelming popularity, but other times, once it's gone, it's truly gone. We'll be showing you how to make a really fun project with it. Now, the following week, on Wednesday, February 15th, the lovely Erica will be back here with me, and together we're going to start our project. We're going to cut our fabric. We're going to talk about chain piecing. This is a great chain piecing project.
It is. And we'll be starting off by making 2 of really the most versatile and often used units in quilting. That's flying geese and the square on point or square in a square.
That's right. Now, we're going to work through the rest of this project for the following 3 Wednesdays. ending up with putting it all together in March. I know it's hard to believe it's only February 1st and we're talking about March 8th. Then on March 15th, we're going to have a show and tell to see all the projects that you, our viewers, have created, which is going to be super fun. So make sure you join that Facebook page. You're posting your projects, you're posting your blocks so we can share.
Right. Now, each week starting today, look for blog posts on both AccuQuilt's blog and AQS's blog. And those are going to include the rotary cutting directions. Those are all in today's blog. Sign up for the Quilt-Along at AmericanQuilter.com to get the latest updates, and be sure to register for each week's live show so that you qualify to win a door prize each week.
It's so fun.
It is.
And then we'll have Miss Emily, AccuQuilt's Community Engagement Specialist, joining us as our moderator, right?
Yes.
So during our live shows, you can ask questions in the comment section. Emily's going to ask us, and then we'll be able to respond to those. And remember, if you can't watch live, or if you want to go back and watch again, our shows are all recorded. They can be found at AccuQuilt.com, our YouTube channel, or our Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, don't forget, we've got that Facebook group set up for our Quilt-Along. Search for AQS Quilting Project Parade Group on Facebook. Click on Join the Group. There's, I don't know, 2 questions you have to answer, and someone on either the AccuQuilt team or the AQS team will approve your request. Most likely producer Joe from our side.
You never know.
You never know.
Now, Pam and I have already joined this Facebook group with our names and AccuQuilt, or I'm AccuQuilt-Erica.
Yes.
You are
AccuQuilt
AccuQuilt Educator Pam Heller.
Yep.
And we are looking forward to seeing projects of your progress as you go along with your project, and we promise to post pictures of ours as well.
We do. And don't forget, if you have a question, you can tag either one of us and we will respond to that question.
That's right.
All right, so quilters, before we end our kickoff to this Quilt-Along series, we have a special prize for a lucky viewer who registered through the AccuQuilt events page for today's show.
All right, the lucky winner of $100 in AccuQuilt reward points is, drumroll please, it's Matthew J. from South Glens Falls, New York. Congratulations,
Matthew. I wonder if Matthew's going to get with $100 reward points.
I don't know. Maybe he's going to get a setting triangle so he can make the project with us.
All right, quilters, don't forget, we have plenty of special deals available for you on the AccuQuilt website.
To get your order in right now, open a new tab in your browser, type in AccuQuilt.com/party to see the offers and get your order in.
All right, it is time for the lovely and Erica and I to get ready for our next show. We hope that today's introduction was just what you needed to inspire you to start planning on how you, our viewers, will make the Go Stars in the Crown Throw Quilt.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. Don't forget to check out our events page to register for upcoming events. If you're new to AccuQuilt or to our live stream events, we host a show every Tuesday and Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time. Registering for each event means that you're entered to win a door prize that will be given away during the show.
Join us every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time for launch parties and trunk shows. These events are filled with more tips, tricks, inspiration, and exciting samples. Next time, we'll be introducing this month's die to try.
And be sure to join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. We have tons of fun. Next week, we're making a project with this month's Die to Try series die. And on Wednesday, February 15th, we'll be starting the Go Stars in the Crown Throw Quilt during the AccuQuilt-Along series with our good friends at AQS. We're excited to work on this pattern together. Can't wait to see you.